Well, hi everyone. This is a broadcast on the go. I've just got off the phone with a sister, and I said something to her which she thinks is profound. Really, I'm surprised that that's profound, but because she finds it profound, it tells me that I need to have that conversation with the rest of us generally. Do bear with me. I am trying to. Why are you behind me? Yalla, go. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get the video shared so we can move forward. Once I've shared the video, I can hit the road. It's going to be one of the videos made on the run, but I want to share it so I don't have the extra responsibility of having to do watch party after watch party when it's done. Hi, Saida. Hi, dear. How are you? I hope you are well. So, I have a sister with the best of intentions. She's trying to help her kids, but then she's found herself. Hi, Matilda. Hi, everybody. I hope you are well. Well, I hope I've actually started this on the right page. I hope so. I'm trying not to cross over and put things in the wrong places, but it happens. No, it's in the right place, thank God. This one is an I Need Science broadcast, so obviously it's English medium, and it's targeted at students and their parents, particularly students who are exam candidates, the ones who are preparing for an exam, students who need to refine how they do things and need support. Oh, thank God you are well, Saida. So I was talking to this sister. She is looking for some support for her kid. And she tells me she doesn't understand. She's been doing everything she should, but the kid is actually not showing much progress. She saw a video of mine, wanted to talk through a few things, which is absolutely fine. So I said to her, you do realize that the person you hire to tutor your kid is the difference between effective tutoring and a waste of your money. And she says, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, let me just explain this. Let me try and break this down and make it simple for everybody. Listen, if you hire, I know a bit of science, all right? It doesn't make me a doctor. I do know a little bit of math. It doesn't make me a mathematician. Yes, I do know a lot of things generally about some stuff, but you will not hire me to do surgery because I know a little bit of stuff. In the same way, should you never give me your kid to tutor just because I am an engineering graduate. So this person has been caught by this fallacy of finding an Indian graduate. The guy has an Indian or Pakistani graduate. You get a lot of those guys put themselves forward as tutors, especially in the United Kingdom. They can teach math, they can teach everything in between, they can teach physics, they can teach anything under this sun. When your kid is in primary school, you can afford that strategy. You can. Because primary school is actually quite general. But even then, things like phonics and stuff require specialists. Definitely, when you get to secondary school, the people who teach your kid need to be specialists, all right? The people who prepare your kids for the exam have to be very familiar with the exams themselves. Not just of the content of the exam, but also of the exam details. I've been through, and I have explained to you many times, the differences between the various exam command words and the way they are done in England, completely different from the way they are done in the US. I know physics is physics, but the way the questions are written, the way the answers are demanded, the way you need to prepare in order to get full marks on an American exam, for example, not the same as the way you prepare. So there's a lot of schools where I am. They've employed a lot of Irish teachers, a lot of American teachers teaching British curriculum. And every year when they take kids to exams, it's a disaster. I've had that conversation with a few school heads here, and they're like, I don't understand. All the teachers are well qualified. I'm like, yep, they are well qualified where they are from. They are well qualified Americans. They are well qualified New Zealanders, South Africans, whatever.
but they might not be particularly experienced in the way British assessments are done. And that is your problem. And it's the same thing I'm going to have to say to you guys on this broadcast. I know somebody who is an engineer probably does know physics, and that's only a probability, in fact. I know the person is very learned, person is a medical doctor, great, should know some stuff about chemistry and biology, they probably do. Does that make them an expert in imparting knowledge to your child? You can't guarantee that. That impartation is actually a niche skill, and that's why people go to teacher training, just so we are clear. The fact that I will speak and speak fluently doesn't mean I can represent you in a court of law. I do not know the practices in a law court. I will be a hopeless lawyer for you, even though I can speak. The fact that I know a bit of biology doesn't make me a surgeon. You will not take me to theater to operate on somebody who requires a surgical procedure. So why would you bring an engineer and ask an engineer to teach your kid physics just because they've done physics before? What makes you think that everybody who knows the content understands how to explain and would be able to guide your kid on how to answer questions and do so effectively? What makes you think that? It sounds stupid when I give you the surgery example. You will not employ me as a surgeon. What do I know about surgery? But I do know a bit about biology. I can tell you the processes in biology. Does that make me a good surgeon? Nope. Makes me a hopeless surgeon. And only an ignorant person will employ me as a surgeon. That's the same thing you have to do when you are employing people to tutor your kids. I know some people will charge £10 per hour because they are only graduates. The fact that somebody's recently graduated doesn't mean that they do know the assessment rubrics. It doesn't mean that they are able to explain adequately to the child. It doesn't mean that having such a person talk some physics to your kid, but not necessarily impart what the kid should get. Know that writing the equation doesn't score a mark, but putting the numbers in the equation is substitution 1 mark. Rearranging the equation is a 2nd mark. Pressing the calculator, getting the right answer, 3rd mark, and finally adding the units, 1 more mark. These simple things are technical. A person who teaches, a person who examines will be able to tell your kid these things. That is actually what makes the difference between the grades, not necessarily going on about the equation, So I flick the camera on. I don't intend to stay on this one for too long. I just have a simple message for you. You've heard other people talk about getting support for your kids, and it's great. I am so grateful that so many of you, so many of you are beginning to understand what you need to do to help and support your kids. I am so grateful. That has changed significantly in the last few weeks. I can't say this name of yours. I can see Penalosa, but I can't read what the other one is. So let me call you Penalosa, and forgive me if I can read. Listen, if you find that your child needs support, hi Lovetta. If you find that your kid needs support and you find that you are happy to provide the support, the 3rd and final thing is that you make sure that the support you are paying for is actually fit for purpose. That the people you are employing to tutor are actually skilled teachers, not just ordinary graduates in a subject, because that does not necessarily make them a qualified and competent tutor. You want to pay a little bit above sometimes the odds to get somebody who does know the specifics of that particular assessment, so that they can tell your kid the little tricks of the trade and help your kid out to maximize what scores they get from the knowledge they have. That is the difference between useless tutoring and what is targeted tutoring. Hello, Alex. Oh, my 2 hands are on. I am definitely on for 2 hands. I am taking precautions, but thank you for raising it. The concern means the world to me. How are you, my brother? I hope you are well. Listen, it's important to me that you help the kids, and it's finally beginning to suggest that what we've been saying for a while on social media is actually beginning to embed in the community, and that's great. It's really good. The the only final thing to add, now that you've got this bit from me, is that when you get help, make sure it is the right help. So you don't fool yourself to think that you are providing help, but you are actually in fact wasting money. When you buy textbooks, make sure it is the right textbook, the right revision guides for the exam board, the specific exam board your child is following. That's because specific boards, specific examples have things that are particular to them that you need to know if you're going to write that exam. When you employ somebody, when you secure the services of anybody to tutor your kids, please check that you have actually secured the services of somebody who is a teacher. Not everybody who professes to be a tutor is actually a teacher. It needs to be somebody who is professionally skilled in teaching, so that good quality learning happens. So that when you have assessments, good quality learning is being used to demonstrate understanding. Thank you, Loretta. It is very, very important to me because I hate the fact that we have explained a phenomenon, but it doesn't appear like we've explained it properly enough. I think this is just a simple mop-up. Yeah, it's true. Some kids do need support. Yes. The support you give has to be timely. Absolutely. But the support you provide also needs to be fit for purpose, and that's all I'm discussing today. Can you make sure that whoever you secure to tutor your kid is actually a qualified teacher? That person is a qualified teacher teaching that specification currently. Because if it's anything like in England, the specifications change, and every time the spec changes, specific things are taken out or brought in or highlighted, and it takes somebody who is currently practicing to know. If you're currently in the classroom and you're currently teaching, you would know how to explain it simply to kids. You would know what is a waste of their time in revision, and you would know exactly where to emphasize. And that is the difference between what makes a difference in support and what is just a waste of your money. I hate that you would waste your money thinking that you are providing support only to find out at the last minute that it's all been a waste of your time. That's all I wanted to say today. It was in response to a conversation I had with somebody. When I finished that, somebody had come to that understanding, which was very good. But I think it's worth sharing that information in the general so the rest of us also pick it up. And that's all I'm hoping to do. Thank you very much for watching the broadcast. Please, if you know anybody who has kids in examination classes, anybody who is employing tutors to support their kids, can you share this simple message with them for me? I'm assessed that it's great that you're offering tutoring to the kids. Thank you very much. God bless you for it. But can you also make sure that the money you are paying for the service is actually going to pay out the return? And the likelihood of getting that return is if you select your personnel very carefully. You check that the people you employ are skilled and qualified and experienced to deliver what you're expecting. Thank you. God bless.